You know, AI is not something new. I mean, in general, in payments and fintech, we had machine learning before like anything else. So I'm really curious. You just mentioned foundation models. What do they do differently than traditional machine learning models, like in terms of decision making, fraud, approval, and cost? How do they do different?
Yeah, I mean, think about we don't need to scrap all the traditional machine learning. Actually, we need to
Sure.
build on top of that. And where we see companies starting doing a lot with these foundation models, typically it starts from the defense side of the organization. This being fraud or some of the compliance work or some of the underwriting. You pick
Right.
about where you started with fraud, for example. So we see fraud evolving in an interesting way. So you start from traditional machine learning models. You accelerate them from CPU to GPU. So you have
Yeah.
faster data processing, faster modeling, and then ultimately the ROI for this is much better. It's very clear because you save more. But this is just the first step to benefit from for this accelerated computing uh, reality that we are living today. The
Yeah.
next step is you start looking about interconnectivity, right? You see some companies start using graph neural networks, so you compare transactions to other in real time, and you deploy these fraud models faster. And foundation models are the next step of evolution of that, which
Okay.
is now you are leveraging all the great work that is happening on this fraud side. And rather than recreating another very advanced model in other parts of the organization, let's say, for example,
Mm,
personalization and some of the, you leveraging this fraud work. We're using
mhm.
tabular transformers to generate these payment foundation models, and you use the embeddings from these tabular transformer models not only to power fraud, but now power all the other steps and all the other siloed models that today operate independently.
Yeah. Look, inside the NVIDIA, you guys work with different financial institutions, companies, banks, etc. Where do you see companies gaining the biggest gains? I mean, in the real world use case like conversions, cost reduction, putting efficiency, maybe cost saving. Where do you see the biggest gains?
So all company starters at kind of cost optimization has been the mantra for the last couple of years,
Right.
and fraud from that side because of the ROI is very clearly to articulate is where the early leads and successes were. But now we are moving to a phase that companies start thinking a little bit more holistically. It's not only
Okay.
about the application layer; it's about the full platform. So companies start putting a long-term plans around how do they manage their data. And actually, even the payment foundation models are how do you transfer your data into insights? Once you have the
Right.
insights, then you can power tons of different downstream use cases and Gen AI or agentic AI applications. Without you have been able to get these insights, is very limited impact. So we see a company start moving in an area that not only optimize for costs, but also
Okay.
start generating new products, start generating a lot of new growth. And again, linking into agentic commerce, imagine how powerful it is you have a payment foundation model that you have connected all different parts of your operation. You
Okay.
can easily start predicting what is the next purchase of the customer. So potentially you can start initiating the agentic commerce activity directly on the base of these embeddings that will generate from the foundation models.